Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Simplified Studio again. And today we'll be solving some maths from the first chapter, that is the substitution chapter from the NOVAS GRE Math Bible. So let's just get started. So here we are with some of the problems regarding the quantitative comparisons. Now we will start with the easy problems and go along with the medium or a bit hard problems later on. So the first problem we have here let us uh, gives us two different columns, and we have to figure out whether column A is greater than B, whether B is greater than A, or they're equal, or there is not enough information. So let's try with the first one. Here we are given that the value of x is greater than 0, right? Now we have to figure out like which case would be the most feasible one for the value of column A and column B. So let's try with a value that is feasible, like x equals to 1. When x equals to 1, column A has a value of 1 squared plus 2, which is 3. Column B will have a value of 1 cube, which is 1, minus 2, which is minus 1. So here we see that column A has higher value. But then next we try with something a larger value, like x equals to 10. This gives the value of column A as 10 squared, which is 100 plus 2, 102. And the value of column B would be 1000 minus 2, which is 998. Now the value of column B is greater than column A. So we cannot decide which column has the higher values. There is not enough information. So the answer of question 1 would be B. The next problem, we are given that m is greater than 0, and there are two values. Now here, let's try with different values. Because m is greater than 0 or positive, we can try to figure out some of the cases where the m will be, we'll try to figure out some cases where we can figure out whether there are cases where the relation between A and B can be different than the other cases. So let's first try with uh, m equals to 2. Column A value would be 2 to the power 10. Column B value would be 2 to the power 100. We know that column B would have a greater value. But now all we have to follow is like m should be a positive numbers. Let's try with m equals to half. Now we would have half to the power 10, or 1 by 2 to the power 10. And here we'll have 1 divided by, or 1 over 2 to the power 100. Now we know that we are dividing with smaller values in here, so it will give us a larger value. So again, we cannot decide for number 2 problem, so the answer would be D. Now let's move on the third problem. Here it says like x is less than 0. That means x is a negative number. So the first value, x squared, would give us a positive number. Like if we, for example, if we assume x equals to minus 1 or 2, yeah, maybe 1, then it will give us 1. And x to the power 5 is the power of a odd power. So that's why it will still have the negative values in there. So minus x cube would be minus 1, because minus 1 to the power 5 would be minus 1. So it will give us 2, a positive number. So no matter what value we take, since x is a negative number, the first term would give us something positive, the second term would give us something negative, but there is a minus sign, so it will also become positive. So positive plus positive will always give us some positive numbers. And x cannot be 0, so column A will always have greater value than column B. So for the third problem, we'll have the answer A. Now let's focus on the fourth problem. We have a value. The condition is like x has to take a negative value, but between 0 and minus 1. So let's assume x equals to something like x equals to minus 0.5. So this will give us the value minus 0.5 over here, but here it will get us, it will give us like 1 by minus 0.5, which is like minus 2. which is like -2. So whatever value we take, we will always see that the column A has the higher, greater values than column B, fulfilling these conditions. So the answer for the question 4 would be A. Now let's move to the problem 5. We have two columns, but there is no conditions over here. So this A and B can take any values. But what we can do is, like, we see some common terms in column A and column B. We can divide column A by AB and also B by AB. So it will make the comparison easier. So when we divide column A by AB, the only thing remains is a B. And when we divide column B by AB, only thing remains is a A. But since there is no value given over here, we do not know what values A can take or B can take. So we cannot decide which column has a greater value than the other one. So for number 5, the answer should be D. So with these 5 problems, I would like to conclude my current video. I hope you enjoy it. If you feel to have any feedback or any corrections, I would appreciate that. Please do comment on my video. Thanks for watching. We'll come up with some other problems in our next video. Thank you.